Bonnie made a friend in class.
Oh, she's already making friends.
No, she literally made a new friend. I want you to meet Forky.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi.
To start us off, can you tell me a little about yourself and
Sure.
what role you played in Toy Story 4?
Great question. So I grew up in Florida, and I became an actor in 1995. And actually, that was the year that the first Toy Story came out. I play the character Forky, who was made by Bonnie, the little girl. And he's the first character that somebody made and kind of came to life, like a craft project.
Hello, I'm Forky.
How much of Forky's personality was already developed by the writers, and how much of Forky's personality were you able to bring?
What was unique about Toy Story is when we came in, I had not read a full script because they were very careful about protecting the story and not wanting it to get out too much. So anytime the actors came in, we would just get pieces of the script and just like 2 pages. So I really didn't know what was going on, which kind of helped do Forky because he didn't know what was going on ever. While I was kind of discovering the script, I started to kind of learn, something about Forky and who was Forky. And they described him to me as kind of nervous and asked a lot of questions, very gullible. So he kind of had this kind of wonder about him where everything was new. For instance, when somebody would say Bo Peep, he'd be like, what's a bow? Like, I don't understand what that is. Or like, you know how like when the humans walked in and all the toys dropped? Forky would just be standing there being like, why are you guys dropping to the ground?
Yeah.
This is the craziest. He doesn't understand the rules of this universe at all.
You're Bonnie's toy. You are going to help create happy memories that will last for the rest of her life.
Huh? What?
Oh, yeah.
So, are there any traits or characteristics that Forky has that you can relate to?
Yes, and I'll tell you what they are. Forky is kind of overwhelmed. I feel like I'm kind of overwhelmed to even be a part of this. Forky kind of asks a lot the question like, why am I here? I'm kind of like, how did I get here? How did I get in this movie? So I feel very kind of connected to Forky.
Why was it important for you to play this character?
Why was it important? I mean, I think there's a lot of reasons why it's important, but I would say the main reason why I get excited about playing this character is because Forky really just saw himself as made for the trash.
I am not a toy. I was made for soup, salad, maybe chili, and then the trash.
Woody comes along and says, you have a bigger purpose. You have more value. And I think maybe there are a lot of people in the world who might see themselves as like, I'm not made for much. I'm just kind of this, and they don't really see themselves as very good inside. And they need to hear that they have a bigger purpose. They have tremendous value. So I do love that.
My last and final question for you is, you mentioned to me that you had a daughter.
I do.
Did she in any way influence the way you approach this character?
When she was little, I remember, I'm sure you did this with your parents too, but it was like, she would not stop asking questions. Like it was just constant, like, what's that? What's that? What's that? What's that? I just remember that everything was so new and alive and like, what's that? And what's that? And what's that? And what's that? And that's a big part of Forky.
Things gonna be okay.
Wait, this is the last week of school?
Yeah, for my school.
Are you taking off school for this?
Yeah.
You're welcome.